Hey, Diz, we got a lot of feedback last episode about the painting of you in the background. Where'd it come from? Is it yours? Yeah. Did you do it?
I didn't do it.
I heard you did do it.
No, my late trainer, Robert Crouch, who used to help me prepare for cricket, he was a wonderful man and
good man,
sadly
Crouchy.
missed. He bought it off a painter who entered this painting, the Archibald Prize.
What?
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. It obviously didn't win, but Crouchy bought it and then said, Diz, I'd love you to have this, and I think it's pretty cool. And so I've got that, and I thought it'd be just a nice little
it looks brilliant
background for
and you'll think of Crouchy when you see it too. I mean,
absolutely,
great man. What a hard man.
He was a hard man.
Yeah. He definitely was. Short
yeah.
steps, Pidge, could you?
Got on the Versaclimber.
Oh, he loved the Versaclimber, didn't he? And Diz, I like the way you change up your background. I'll have to see what I can do here.
I like to mix it up. I like to mix it up, boys.
All right, let's mix it up here, boys. Let's get into it. Got him. G'day, quickies. It's the Fast Bowling Cartel podcast here where we talk about bouncers, Yorkers, outswingers, in-swingers, just basically getting batsmen out and just basically hanging on batsmen. My name's Damien Fleming. I'm joined by a couple of absolute legends as we prepare for the third Ashes Test match in Adelaide. Of course, it's Jason Gillespie and Glenn McGrath. Gentlemen, before we get into it, I will remember the DK salute. Hey, boys, the Aussies are 2-0 up. That little urn is almost in the Aussies' hands.
Yeah, it's not far away, is it? But Australia in the same situation last Ashes in the UK, and somehow England found a way to bounce back. So this time they've got to make sure that they've got every right to ask for it to be sent from Lords out here. We'll put it up at the G, and maybe that's where it should stay. It should only do one more travel in its lifetime, and if we can get it out there at the G, I reckon that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Flem, Pidge, great to be here. Look, a mountain to climb. There's no question. From an England perspective, it's going to be tough ask. Not impossible, far from it. They do have a very talented squad, but it is a real mountain to climb for this English squad against an in-form Australian team.
With that sounds like at least Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon in. Bazza McCullum, the English coach, has said that they're going to keep their top 7 the same. He didn't back his bottom 4, so which suggests to me if I'm a bowler, I'm thinking, am I in or not? Also, for you, Jace, the Adelaide Test, this is a red ball Test match. Damien Hoff, the gun curator there, he's going to cut it to 6 millimetres, so that's a couple millimetres less than pink ball. It's double what we had at the Gabba, but you coached South Australia for years there. What's that going to do? Is it going to mean that it's pretty flat throughout the middle of the Test match? Will it do a little bit early with the 6 millimetres of grass?
Yeah, first of all, what you mentioned about Brendan McCullum saying top 7, isn't that just typical? That's a batsman call, isn't it? You lose a match and all of a sudden you change the bowling attack. It's not the batting. It's never been about the batters. No, batting's fine. We can't score runs, but we lose a Test match. We have to change the bowling. Typical batsman mentality, boys. Nonsense. But anyway, but when it comes to Adelaide Test, 6 mil, Damien Hoff is quite interesting what he spoke about there. It's a good surface. I think, as with any cricket pitch, as with any Test surface, early on, bowlers bowl good disciplined line and length with the hard kookaburra ball with the seam still a little bit pronounced. It'll offer a little bit of assistance, but that'll settle down very quickly. I think this surface is going to be an absolute belter to bat on at Adelaide Oval. Short square boundaries. But then I think over time, I don't think it'll be up and down necessarily. You keep low or anything. A few cracks might start to appear, but I just think it will take a little bit of turn at the back end of the game. So that's why I think Nathan Lyon will definitely play. And I believe he'll have an impact because Adelaide Oval, you still get a little bit of bounce. And with Nathan Lyon's overspin, he'll get bounce and turn. And I think he can create some problems for this England batting lineup.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this test. And to be honest, probably England are as well. The previous two pitches they've played on has had a bit in it. I think this one's still going to be a very good cricket wicket. You know, you look at the comments from the groundsman there, the curator, he said, 10 wickets and plenty of runs. So if you look at what's happened in the Shield season already, there's been some hundreds scored already. And a few of the fast bowlers have taken Pfeiffer and the bowlers have done quite well. So it looks like it's going to be a very good wicket. We'll see. We'll see what happens and see which way England go. It's good to see you fired up already, Diz. Looking forward to give me a spell. I thought it just started then, but anyway. Their bowling attack. I don't think anyone in their bowling attack would feel safe. You know, the way Jofra fired up, if he's not going to bowl that the whole Test match, you got to ask, does he deserve to be there as well? So, but the batsmen, I think they don't have many other options. I think they might have Jacob Bethel that's out, and that's pretty much it. So, we'll wait and see what happens. But, no, looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Pidge. I mean, if you look for England, they do have a couple of handy bowlers up their sleeve. Yep. Josh Tongue, more a wicket taker, more a cast type, leaks a bit of runs but bowls some crackers. And then they've got Potts, whose economy rate is a lot better, more for an Atkinson type there. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. Hey, for the Adelaide Test match, I just got a little bit of trivia, but I want us to talk about what the Adelaide Test means to you guys, and one test in particular for you, Pigeon. The first Ashes Test at Adelaide Oval was in December 1884. England won that by 8 wickets. The first ever day-night Ashes Test match was there in 2017. A record 55,000 people turned up. And probably the most, infamous game is Bodyline. Back in 1932-33, Douglas Jardine, the English captain, wanted to negate Bradman by bowling Bodyline. Obviously, the line at the body with fielders before the restrictions. They often had 8 on the leg side, 4 catching, 4 out. And Australian captain Bill Woodfull was hit over the heart by Harold Larwood, the big quick. And they thought there was going to be like the swarming of the ground of Australian fans. So it was a diplomatic crisis. Bradman just dominated at the Adelaide Oval. It was often referred to as his front lawn because he was living there, Sir Donald. Highest individual Ashes score, Kevin Peterson, 227 back in 2010. And maybe one of the most dramatic wins, and you played in it, Pidge, the Shane Warne-inspired Day 5 Magic 2006-07. That was the unlosable Test match, wasn't it? And commentating, England just shut up shop, but just trying to draw that Test match. And Warney come up, even though he'd been expensive in the first innings, willed us over the line. There was a run out, and then I think Mr. Cricket hit the winning runs. But 2006-07 Ashes win, Pidge, that'd have to be right up with one of your greatest victories ever.
Oh, it's definitely up there. We had a good test at Perth. We played well there. England bounced back. I think Collingwood scored. It might have got a double hundred in the first innings. They declared for 550 or something ridiculous. And then, our batters did the job. We bounced back. But going into that last day, England's mindset was to draw that game. They thought they couldn't lose. We'll just draw it, game over. Whereas the Australian mindset went in with, we're still a chance to win this. If we can knock England over, we've got the great Shane Warne up our sleeve on a wicket that's turning a bit. And Warney didn't let us down. As soon as a couple of wickets fell in that English batting lineup, you could sense it. The panic started to set in, and all of a sudden they're all out. And, to see Mr. Cricket hit those winning runs and celebrate, that was a massive win. I think from then on, the Ashes series was done. England were a bit of a wreck, and 5-0, good way to finish. But that Adelaide Test, they still talk about how unlosable test, but yet they lost it.
To commentate, it was just Warney at his best, wasn't it? And after a couple of overs, I'm going, they're going nowhere here, and the king is up, and everyone else bowled beautifully. Have you got any Ashes memories, Diz, of Adelaide Oval?
Oh, I remember the 023 Ashes, and I remember hitting Michael Vaughan at Adelaide Oval on the shoulder, and because he was in fine form. If
Oh,
you remember,
yeah.
Pidge, that series, he scored a mountain of runs and hit him on the shoulder. We went on. I think that was the game, Pidge, where you were out of position and you took that great catch in the outfield. Is that right?
I might have been 30 yards out of position. Steve Wall told me I should have been exactly where that ball fell. But, one of those things. I was just chatting to the crowd and, tempting Forney to play that shot. But if you remember the first innings, didn't he catch Forney out?
Yeah.
And replays weren't conclusive, so they gave him not out and he went on to get 100. Right. So it was all happening that match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I played in a couple. We actually lost one in 94, 95, so I don't want to talk about that too much, but that's when Greg Blewett got 100 on debut. Great.
Yes.
Bluey just played incredible. Brilliant. And it was one of the worst feelings I ever had. I don't know. I was batting 10 and I tried to hook Devon Malcolm, and of course I got a glove through to Steve Rhodes, but Bluey was on like 96 and the man coming out was Aussie Mac, Peter McIntyre. Fourth day Mac, but this is first day Mac and he's batting, and we know he eventually got a pair in this test match. But I just thought if he gets out for a duck and Bluey's left on 96, I'm never going to be able to live with myself. So I was so nervous, and Aussie Mac got him to 100. For me, that was a great highlight. And then 4 years later, we won their Pidge, 98, 99, and we retained the Ashes. But one little memory of that test match, Justin Langer, he's a legend of Australian cricket, 100 test match, average 45. But how often was he under the pump for his spot? It's almost like, because we were dominating, where's their 1 week link? Alfie was going well at number 3, but it's just like... And he said, he was getting sledged from the English. They didn't sledge many of us. But, Blewett's not in the team, or Elliott or Lehman like this. And Brecky, before he batted, he might have been 40-odd not out. I didn't even have breakfast actually with him. But he walks over and he's got a newspaper and he goes, what do I do about this? And he drops the newspaper and it's an article from Kerry O'Keefe, right? And to finish his article, he says about Justin Langer, I would rather watch bananas brown than watch Justin Langer bat.
That's harsh. Skull.
Alfie's read it. And he's like, what do I do to this? And good on Alfie, got 170 and got man of the match and all that sort of stuff. But it's funny how you don't remember little things. I just remember that, Alf was breakfasting by himself and he's read this article, questioning that Skull would rather watch. What was your response,
Flem?
I laughed.
What did you give him? You just laughed.
I would rather watch bananas brown. That's pretty brutal, that, isn't it?
It is. Talk about the Adelaide Oval. It's Swyftx All-Rounder Index time, and this is about bowlers who actually put out with the bat. Get the job done. They've done the job with the ball and they back it up with the bat. And
love that.
I'm focusing on the Adelaide Test, Ashes Adelaide Test, and the top score from a tail-ender batting 8 to 11. So number 3, third was Pat Cummins, who scored 44, which is a pretty good effort, batting out effort, there. Second is the Queensland Warrior. It's Fit Bick. Andy Bickle scored 48, I think, in 2002-03 Ashes that you already talked about. But the winner of the Swyftx All-Rounder Index is one of the great fast bowlers for Australia. If you hadn't broken down, he would have taken 300 wickets. We know him and love him as Rhino. Ryan Harris, 55 not out in 2013-14.
Happy days.
Got wickets as well.
The great Ryan Harris, wonderful. He was actually a genuine all-rounder probably earlier in his career.
Yeah.
He made his debut for South Australia as a genuine all-rounder. He was actually one of the best fielding fast bowlers I've seen. He used to field at backward point. He was unbelievable. And but I think a few of his knee concerns, couple of knee injuries, restricted him somewhat later in his career. But wow, what a fast bowler for for Australia. He was absolutely brilliant. The move to Queensland did him a lot of good. He was fantastic. And, I think he's got exactly the same record in Test cricket as the great Bruce Reid.
Yes.
Same tests, same amount of wickets, and very similar average. So, not a bad bloke to be compared to.
Yeah, no, Rhino was brilliant.
He had 27 tests, 113 wickets at an average under 24.
Yeah, no, he was quality. Ran in hard all day. Could do, just move that ball. I remember a couple of, trying to think who it was that, but was it Cookie?
Cookie, Alistair Cook, first ball in Perth.
Unbelievable. And now he's coaching, giving back to the fast bowling fraternity. So good man.
He was, and if anyone epitomises the FBC spirit, it's Ryan Harris for me.
100%.
I think his last test was when he won the test match in South Africa, and he could barely walk, and he bowled Stain a Yorker over the wicket, knocked him over, and then come around the wicket and Yorked Morkel to win it. So amazing skills. So he does epitomise the cartel spirit, the Swyftx all-rounder index. Sign up and verify with Swyftx to get $20 in Bitcoin, available for new customers only. See where crypto can take you with Swyftx. Promo code, always like this, FBC20. You can find the link in the episode description there. Hey, we come up with another little new episode last week, and it was the retrospective LBWs. And we got one extra test wicket for the president, Glenn McGrath, because Inzi was absolutely plumb. So we got another one. We're having a look at some vision, which happened 26 years ago from today. And it was at the Adelaide Oval. It wasn't an Ashes test match, but it was a big one against India. McGrath versus Tendulkar, and this is what happens.
You don't want to be ducking too much here at Adelaide. He's been given out LBW.
Now, what do you think? 26 years on, is that out or not out? Pidge, you go first.
Oh, without a doubt, out. Just have a look at the scoreboard. And plus, from where I was standing, I could see the bails over the top of Sachin. Sachin wasn't much taller than the stumps when he was batting, and his pads, I'm sure he bats in boys' pads, so they were tiny. And when he ducked down, hit him in the shoulder. And it was funny. Last year, I travelled to Mumbai, and Sachin and I did a TVC about it. And he was whinging, carrying on that it was out, clearly going over. I said, definitely out. But it was for an eye hospital, and basically makes out that my eyes needed testing because I was sitting in the wrong seat on the plane. I thought it was 4B, it was 4D. So but clearly,
so you're doing gags.
If you watch the footage, the ball is tapering off and coming down. It's hitting probably that far from the top of the stumps, clearly out.
Oh,
yeah. I didn't get a side-on look of it, but. Diz, you've got the better eyes. You're the youngest.
Yeah, I love FBC dismissals, but I'm not having that, Pidge. I'll tell you, that was not out. I saw that. What I will say as well, we need footage, Flem, of this TV ad that Glendon's done with.
It's actually very funny.
Sachin in India. That will be gold. I'd love to see that, and we've got to get that on the FBC.
Okay,
it is brilliant. You've got to watch it. And I come out looking like I need my eyes tested, but Sachin, anyway. Disappointed, Diz. I thought clearly out.
No, not out. Sorry, mate.
My decision, I'm going out.
Yeah, good man, Flo.
I'm saying maybe Adelaide it was actually dipping on the way down, but at the time, how controversial, but 26 years on. Let's see what our feedback is from our Indian fans on that one.
The couple of things I'll mention about that was, firstly, you hear Warney every year he had a new delivery, which was just the same old ball renamed something else. So that's the new ball I've been working on, the short ball that doesn't bounce. And the other thing is the test after that was Sydney, and get to Sydney, and my late wife Jane was there, and all of a sudden there's security around her. She's gone, what's happening? Oh, Cricket Australia's been getting that many death threats for Glenn because of how he got Sachin out. We've had to get security.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
And it was all rubbish. Like, it was just, people ringing up, carrying on. But, I thought that was quite funny as well.
Gee, I wonder how Daryl Harper went, the umpire. He's the one that gave you only appealed. You only asked the question. You got to ask the question, Pidge.
No, it was it was Daryl Harper. It was. Yeah. So,
jeez, were you bowling or not?
I thought you said Daryl Hare, and that's a different incident at Adelaide Oval too, isn't
that's
it?
Right.
So
that's
we'll go back to Daryl Harper. Good man. Rarely got an LBW wrong, Daryl. He knew the game really well.
Yeah, to our listeners and viewers too, if you've got any suggestions for retrospective LBWs, send them in, please, because we want to do the analysis there. So for Pidge, add 2 wickets, because it's 2 to 3, unfortunately, Diz. So add 2 wickets to your total.
Well, it was given out, so you can't add a wicket that I already got.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay, now, one thing we haven't done, we've done the bowlers, but we haven't done our top 5 Aussie Ashes batsmen since 1970. So we better even it up because we've done the big quicks. Now, Diz, normally you're the go-to man because you've got the metrics. Pidge, you're a bit more vibey. I'm a bit more averagey vibey, but not quite to the area where you go. Diz, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, fire away.
Top 5 Aussie batters. Obviously, Pidge goes with a more gut feel, doesn't he, Flem? And you talk about big moments and impactfulness, so
yes,
which is good. So I've just gone purely from a statistical base, which, right or wrong, that's it's good that we have different metrics as it creates good discussion and good debate. So I've gone a minimum of 1,000 runs.
Like it.
In Ashes Test cricket and a minimum of 15 Test matches.
Ooh.
So there's a bit of a body of evidence there. So I'm going to go. So I've looked at averages and I've looked at minimum 15 Tests, but averages. Who's sort of had that impact from an average point of view? So number 5 is our great friend, the late, great Dean Jones, who played 17 Test matches for Australia in Ashes cricket and averaged 50.76. Which I thought was excellent. Number 4, from average 56 from 39 Test matches now, current player, is the great Steve Smith. Wonderful campaign, has scored lots of runs, key runs for Australia in Ashes cricket, both at home and abroad in the UK. Then we're going to the godfather at number 3, who's the great Alan Border.
Yeah.
From 47 Ashes Test matches. 47, would you believe? That's a wonderful career in itself, let alone just playing versus England. Average over 56 with the bat. Number 2, from 46 Test matches, a great captain of ours, the great Steve Waugh. 58, average just north of 58. And number 1, and I know it's a slightly smaller sample size, he just reached the criteria, the minimum of 15 Test matches, but statistically, Mr. Cricket, Mike Hussey, 59.270 average in Ashes cricket.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the great Mike Hussey. So, going Mr. Cricket, he's a very big fan of the FBC as well, so I'm comfortable with him being at the top of the tree.
Wow.
So there you go, boys. That's my top 5.
I like that with the dizzy metrics. Pidge, give us the vibe. Who's the top 5?
Yeah, it was interesting going through all the averages, like you said then, Diz, just to see who was right up there. But I sort of, a bit of both, but more sort of the vibe, the gut feel.
Yeah, of course.
Number 5, I put down our old captain and the leading run scorer for Australia in Ricky Ponting. 35 Test matches, 800s, nearly 2,500 runs at Ashes. So punter is in there. Number 4, sort of growing up, sort of watching this guy too. One of the 3 brothers that played for Australia, in Greg Chappell, played the same amount of tests as Rick. 2,600 runs, 45. So, I think had a decent impact there. I did look at Huss and Dino. I put down a bit more longevity. The guys that played longer to do it more consistently. Number 3, current players, Smudge, Steve Smith. Smudgy, 1,200s in his 35 tests. Unbelievable. More hundreds than any other Australian batsman in Ashes cricket. So, Steve Smith, number 3. Number 2, AB. The great Alan Border. I still have memories of him taking on that great West Indian bowling attack. There's no braver, tougher man in world cricket, I reckon. So AB, I put him in as my number 2, 47 tests, over 3,500 runs, unbelievable. And number 1, I put down Tugger, Steve Waugh, 46 tests, 3,200 runs, 10 hundreds. You think about that last ball in Sydney when he brought up his 100. And then at the Oval, playing with on one leg, bringing up another 100. So he just he loved Ashes cricket and would never give up. Average 58, pretty handy. So that was my more gut feel sort of top 5.
That's a great top 5, Pidge.
Yeah, that's good. I'm a mixture. When I started this, the 2 guys I just thought would be in because they're 2 of the top 3 Australian batsmen I've seen in my time, and with Stephen Smith, and that's Greg Chappell and Ricky Ponting. But they are not in mine.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
And I've gone a bit more longevity, but also records in Australia and also England. And that's what hurts GC and punter to a little bit of a degree. So number 5, hey, I'm a guy that likes watching bananas brown. So Justin Langer is in Alfie, averaging 48 in Australia, and he averaged 55 in England. And famously, the 01 almost just given a test match, and we'll move on when we get home, and he gets 100 with his mate Haydos, and then goes on to have 6-7 years with that great opening partnership with Dossie. Yeah. And
I would have thought
couldn't have got any more out of himself, could he?
No.
Justin Langer.
And bananas don't brown that much in the UK. That's, is that why he bats well there?
Is that why he averaged more? We'll have to ask Skull. Number 4, ruthless run machine. Love that back foot punch through the covers. Owned the 1989 Ashes. That's where he come into his own, and it was Steve Waugh, who averaged virtually the same in Australia and England. I think he just took his game to a different level when it was Ashes. 3rd, we're going a bit of class, and we're keeping it in the family. Ooh. I'm going junior.
Yes,
Mark Waugh.
Junior Waugh.
Yeah, because
absolutely
the same. He virtually averaged 50 in Australia and England, never played in a losing Ashes series.
Yep.
And a lot higher average than his career average. It does piss Junior off that he averaged in the low 40s, but in Ashes, averaged 50 at home and away.
Fair.
Quality Junior.
Talking about Tugger's back foot punch through the offside, what about Junior's flick off the pads? It was just absolute class. Number 2, we're going a guy who unique player who could problem solve in game, and what a 2009 Ashes, 19 Ashes he had. But it was in the 2014 Ashes in Perth. He just said, I'm just going to change my setup, and he started to walk back outside leg stump and walk across and changed his game for years to come. And that's Stephen Smith, who, as you said, 12 Ashes hundreds, averages virtually the same at home and away. And number 1 is AB. He for so long he was the backbone of the Australian team, let alone the batting. Just remember his runs in 81, 85, 89, 93. Averaged more in England than he did in Australia, where he still had a fine Ashes. Just remember his cut shot, captaincy, leadership. I reckon in 89, he didn't get 100 in that first test, but, he was so aggressive to set a tone. So number 1 for me, Alan Border.
Yeah, Flem, I think Flem and Pidge, I think they're great top fives. I think what it's just highlighted is that we've had some wonderful batters represent our country in Ashes cricket, and everyone that's been mentioned in our top fives just have been wonderful players. And it's a fun exercise, isn't it, to sort of unpack it a bit, look at it through different lenses. Yeah, it's a lot of fun,
and it's not that easy either.
No,
there's just so many options. I looked at some of England's, and that was a little bit more straightforward because there wasn't as many options. But the Aussies, both batsmen and bowlers, there's plenty to choose from.
Yeah, we'll do the English next time, but us three might be a bit closer on that one. But that was good. That is the top 5 Aussie Ashes batsmen since 1970. Des, over to you. The BB Golden Longneck. Far away, big fella.
Well, okay, boys. Look, and big thanks to VB for sponsoring this segment. The Golden Longneck Award, presented by VB to the hardest working fast bowler.
Yes.
Make sure you're 18 plus, and let's make sure we please drink responsibly.
Yep.
But look, I thought I'd go back through the archives, and I thought because we're leading into the Adelaide Test, boys. So while this isn't an Ashes Test, I looked at the history at Adelaide Oval of a hard-working fast bowler. So I went back to 1983-84 season. Australia v Pakistan. Third Test, December 9 to 13, 1983. Australia made 465. And then 7 for 310 in the second innings. Pakistan made a 624 in, would you believe, 191.2 overs. They had 3 centurions in Mohsin Khan, Quasim Omar, and the great Javed Miandad. Zahir Abbas got 77 as well, their captain. Some great names from the past there. The Australian bowling attack. Lawson, Hogg, Hogan, Tommy Hogan, left-arm spinner, and Greg Chappell all bowled 30-plus overs. And in 191.2 overs, there was not one no-ball or wide bowled in this Adelaide Test match, which was brilliant. But it was very hot conditions. I've spoken to a couple of people over the last couple of days who were actually there. They said it was stinking hot. But this man, the great man, bowled 50.2 overs. DK Lilly, 50.2 overs. He got 6 for 171. So for me, the great man, DK Lilly, is the VB Golden Longneck Award for the hardest working fast bowler for this episode in the Fast Bowling Cartel.
Well, that must have been.
He might have had a few VBs afterwards. How many of these would he have done?
He would have done
the DK salutes. If it was, how many was it? 50 odd over. He would have done 300 of them.
50.2 overs he bowled.
300 of them pitch.
minimum 300. And apparently Des was saying it was stinking hot, so he might have got 2 or 3 in each ball. But that must have been an absolute road. Must have been flat for the great man to have to bowl 50 overs. Like you don't even want to bowl 50 overs in a full Test match, but 50 overs in one innings, unbelievable.
One innings, yeah. So the great man.
I wonder if he headbanded up for that one. We might have to look at some vision because he might.
Maybe we can try and get some vision of that match.
Yeah, and I love about Dennis Silly as well. Very rarely was it 1 or 2 for. He never went for 100, but that often. But he always got wickets. So for me, it showed he never gave up. He was always hungry every ball. We need to get wickets. So even there, 6 for 171. It's still an average of under 30.
Yeah.
Mate, that's why he is the great man. Plain and simple.
Mate, and that was awesome. That's the VB Longneck Award, the hardest working bowler. And we might get one out of this Adelaide Test if it's as flat as what you're saying there. Diz, you're still in control here because this is the segment where you just go bang. You love it. We love it. The public love it. Not sure all the batters love it, but it's give me a spell.
Righto, boys. Thank you very much. Look, I've got a couple today. Now, I'm going to start, and this may come across as a little bit sympathetic to the English,
Ooh.
And I'm going to have a
Careful.
little dart at Channel 7.
Ooh.
This might be a bit controversial, but I think they've got the TV rights. Okay. They have at ground, at training. They've been filming the English at Noosa. There was a bit of an incident the other day at the airport, going through, and they're taking footage, and there was an altercation. They do have a strong arm, a security guy with England. Admittedly, he's a bit of a flog. He's a bloke with a bald head and a tattoo sleeve who trying to stop me getting on the ground day one at the Gabba, even though I had my lanyard and a media pass. He's a bit of a flog. But besides that, I just think Channel 7, you get so much footage, you get so many opportunities. Air travel is a necessary evil for us all, right? And it can be a stressful time. Just allow people to go about their work, putting their bags in, getting their tags, going through security, doing all this, and just leave them be. So Channel 7, give me a spell. Just leave them be, all right? Just leave them be, okay? They're visitors to our country. Allow them the space. You get stuck into them at Noosa. You get stuck into them at the ground every day at training. So Channel 7, give me a spell.
Oh, hey, hang on. The Poms are 2-0 down. Channel 7 doing their job to get into the Poms' head. They're 2-0 down.
I'm not
keep
having
them
it.
down. The cameraman guy, he's in there because he can't bowl the ball. He can't get any wickets, but what he can do is frustrate the Poms. So good on you, Channel 7 and cameraman.
No, I'm not having it.
Flam, don't you work for Channel 7? Is there anything in that?
Yeah, you're right.
He's a bit conflicted,
A
Pidge.
bit conflicted there. Were you a good air traveller, Flam? You're pretty relaxed.
I was all right. I don't know about our other man here, the douche.
I was a bit squeamish, admittedly. And maybe that's part of it as well. I'm not the best traveller, so a bit anxious, a bit nervous. So that's one.
That's one. Yeah, fair enough.
So the other one, just something that I've spoken to Pidge about, and I'm having a crack at the Poms now. Again, shock horror, boys. We just found out the last few days that they actually declined an opportunity to play a 3-day match at the MCG before the Perth Test.
Oh, wow.
So now we're at a point where they're getting smashed about their preparation. They've decided they didn't want any preparation at all, but they've had opportunities for 2 practice matches, 2 games of prep leading into this Ashes series. They've declined both, one at the MCG where they're going to play a test match, one at Canberra where it was going to be under lights so they can prepare for the pink ball test in Brisbane. And they choose to just go to Lilac Hill and play a 2 or 3-day game against England Lions. Give me a spell, England management. Nonsense. Practice games are key to get used to the conditions, get ready to. It just beggars belief. So give me a spell, boys. Dizzy out.
Yeah, I'm with you there. They've talked about being over-prepared. No, they might have overtrained. They didn't over-prepare for this tour.
No, that's a really good point,
because
Flem.
there's a
Overtraining,
over-preparing
over-preparing are 2 different things.
No, it's
That's
interesting,
a really good point.
Des, you said that it's the key to preparing. Is that a jab at Robert Key, who was involved in that whole section? But anyway.
Yes, he's a batter.
But England's defence, by what they say, is they like to prepare where they're going to play. So the MCG wicket had a bit of juice in it. They said it's not Perth. It's not the first one. Though it's not the same conditions. But then Canberra, day-nighter, probably 15, 20 degrees cooler. It's not the same. That's their defence. But
That's
time
nonsense.
in the middle, as we've said, time in the middle, getting overs in your legs as bowlers. You can't sort of practice.
But we're old fogies, mate. We're has-beens. So we don't know anything.
We were has-beens roles at the end of our career. I don't know what we are now.
That's a fair call. Hey, can I just do one? I don't want to sneak into your segment, but one thing that is really getting up me a fair bit is all this analysis about bowling, okay, and the lack of balls they're bowling that are hitting the stumps. So there's analysis every test match and blah, blah, blah. And post one, I saw one from TNT about the lack of balls from the English hitting the stumps. Give me a spell. How many wickets get taken when you bowl a half volley that's hitting leg stump? How many? 1 in 1,000 that might get chipped to square leg?
Yeah,
how many
rare.
wickets?
I know Diz got one. You got one to pick up your 7 for Headingley. Wasn't it?
I did. I bowled a leg stump half volley. John Crawley, Creepy Crawley,
Was it?
Yeah.
clipped it off his toes. It hit Greg Blewett on the toe, bounced up. He caught it at short leg. And I thought, gee, this is my day, boys.
I thought it was number 11. Who was number 11 that time?
Who was the guy that
Mike
backed
Smith.
away?
Mike Smith.
He went the
played
other
a
way.
forward defence, played inside it, and it took his leg stump out.
Yeah, he missed it by about 2 foot, and it still bowled him leg stump.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 250 test
A
wickets.
very
I'm
overrated
sorry,
delivery.
you could have bowled that to Cam Green and he still would have missed it, to be fair.
It couldn't
But
reach it.
the half volley that's going to hit leg stumps generally goes for runs.
Yeah, that's
if you
right.
bowl a good length, 5 to 8 metres on 4th or 5th stump line, you are going to get a lot of wickets at a low average. So I don't want any more analysis about the lack of balls hitting the stumps. I want it more on what is a good line and length in the avenue of apprehension, and that includes the 4th or 5th stump line. That gets a lot more wickets.
Yeah, I like that, Flem. What I'd like...
Give me
if
a spell.
Give me a spell, Flem, absolutely. But what I'd like, with the stump hitting, I don't mind that as a general analysis, but it needs to be more specific. When we talk about bowling at the stumps, we talk about hitting the top of off stump, don't we? So
Yes.
that would be actually a good analogy, a good analysis. And maybe, as you said, maybe how many deliveries are hitting the top of off stump, 4th, 5th stump on that length at, 6 to 8 metres, whatever. I think that would be a more specific analysis of bowling and effective bowling that can potentially take wickets at test level.
Yep, agree 100%. Now, the problem with this analysis, Flem, is it's done by batsmen.
Correct.
Yes.
Exactly. What can you do? So you look at Mark Waugh. Junior wanted it on 4th stump so he could flick it through mid-wicket for 4 runs. So I always,
That's right.
when I was bowling, and a lot of, I guess you guys are very similar, if you're bowling middle stump, that's too far leg because it just opens up the whole field. Where off stump, 4th, 5th, that's the stumps bowlers bowl it. You keep it through there, you can set aggressive fields, you can tie up scoring, and that's where you're going to get 90% of your wickets. So it's one of those things that batsmen, talk themselves up about. And I guess TV's got, they've got to have something to show every now and then and talk about. So,
Well, we need more bowlers in the commentary teams. There you go.
there you go.
Exactly right. And just a caveat to that, Pigeon, you make a really good point. As a test match progresses, and this will be good for our viewers and listeners, as a test match progresses, you tend to go straighter as they go because the ball, the surface gets deteriorates and the ball doesn't bounce as much. It gets lower. It gets slower. So you want to just adjust your line slightly and bowl a little bit straighter because you bring in the LBWs and you bring in the bolds. So that's a tactic that teams use as games progress, as conditions deteriorate.
And then you bring
you guys probably don't remember, but 26 years ago, big Australian quick in Adelaide, day 4, and the bounce is inconsistent, actually got Sachin Tendulkar out LBW ducking because the ball was on the way down. Do you remember that?
I remember that. I really do, Pidge and Flem. I remember that.
I think it's in the scoreboard. It's set out. But the thing also, Diz, is when the ball's getting older and the pitch is flat and you're bowling a lot straighter, similar to what you can do in the subcontinent, you might get a little bit of reverse swing. But the thing also, you have to take 1 or 2 guys from the slips out and put them on the leg side, and it's more about tying up, restricting run scoring and bowling a little bit straighter. So that's the only time on the 2 pitches we played so far. It's
spot on.
You're looking to
it would have
take
gone
wickets.
through a bit there, but that's Give Me a Spell by Jason Gillespie, and we've just popped into it a little bit there, Pidge. Hey,
okay.
we've got some questions. I went out to X and said, any questions for the group? We got one from Todd. Gentlemen, I wonder who from the FBC, in all the fast bowlers you've seen, has the smoothest run-up of all time. At the moment, Stark's run-up is just speed and smoothness all the way through. Can you give another couple of options to that?
So was that in the current crop or of all time?
No, current or of all time. So straight away, you know what, number one for me, the most beautiful run-up of all time is West Indian great Michael Holding.
Can only be
100%.
Mikey Holding. Yeah.
Are we in agreement there?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. So if you haven't seen it, YouTube Michael Holding and try and replicate that and you'll be on your way. We also had another one from a guy called David Lloyd. It's at Bumble Cricket. Not sure if you've heard of him.
Who's that?
Rings a bell.
The great man. He has asked, who is the best fast bowling pairing of all time?
Oh.
I think he's alluding to that you two guys might be right up in the top five.
Look, we were awesome, but geez, I'll tell you what. I'll be honest. I mean, there's Marshall Garner, there's Wasim Wakar, Stark Hazelwood. Geez, it's tough,
So
isn't
many.
it? I actually really like Wasim Wakar. For me, probably pretty hard to go past. They were pretty awesome. Left armour, swung it. Right armour, bowled with gas and could reverse swing and those devastating Yorkers. For me, it's probably hard to go past Wasim and Wakar.
Yeah, no, definitely up there, those two. They're incredible. Woz could just do anything. You could probably throw, was it Ambrose and Walsh in there?
That's who I was thinking.
They were pretty amazing. But we can't sort of forget Lily Thompson as well. That was, they were pretty awesome. So I'm going to go.
Broughton Anderson.
Actually, you know what? We might do a segment on it down the
That's
track.
a great
Pick our
shout.
top five. Okay,
We can
so we'll
unpack
do
that in more detail. Yeah.
Keep the questions coming. We'll read them out here. BBL started last night. Well, it didn't start early because of lightning at Perth Stadium, but the Scorchers over the line. Cooper Conley.
He's a
showing
good player,
what
isn't he?
great talent he is in the BBL. So we'll keep on touch with that going forward. Just to finish up, what about predictions? Adelaide Test. Who's winning? What individual players dominating?
For me, boys, I think Australia. I think it's too far gone for England at the moment. It is a bit of a danger game. I think the conditions probably suit England a little bit more, but I think I'm not sensing that camp is brilliant at the moment. I think there's questioning a bit of how they go about things. So I think Australia are a bit more settled. They know exactly what they want to do, what they need to achieve. So I'm going to say Australia. And I'm predicting the great Travis Head to go on an absolute tear in his home ground at his home test, and Travis Head to really impact this game positively.
Yep. No, it is a danger game for Australia because they've got Pat Cummins, Nathan Lyon coming back. So the last thing they want to do is get complacent, think we've got the big boys back. It's just going to happen. They have to keep scrapping and keep hanging in there and keep dominating. So as long as they don't let things just slip a bit, because England, they'll probably earmark that as a potential win. They love chasing. They haven't chased yet. They've won 2 tests, which is weird compared to what they want to do.
Yeah, I find that weird.
The other thing is they've had a break. The Poms, they've started identifying there is an issue. It's about sort of 12 months too late, but they got there. Are they going to put things in place? If they have to, they've got to keep this series live. It's this test match. If they lose, then my prediction of 5-0 will definitely come true. But this is a massive match for England. But Australia, do not get complacent. Go out there and just drive the nail in and finish them off here.
Yeah, I just think Australia's bowling is just going to be too much for them there. I think Cummins will be fine and Lyon's ready to go. You chuck in Mitchell Stark in career best form, Scott Boland, we can get 20 wickets. I still question whether England can get 20 wickets. So, how they're going to go about that. And talk about hundreds. I'll go a bit of hometown love. Alex Carey for 100.
Ooh,
in
I
front of
like
his
that.
hometown. I'm going to go with that.
He's in good nick.
And
He's in good nick,
sorry,
Alex.
Flem, I didn't throw Mitchell Stark. I think is going to continue his great form. Lock him in for another 5, and maybe that hometown partnership, Head and Weatherall. Maybe lock that in for who knows? Maybe a couple
Next
of tons
couple of years
for them. That'd be handy.
Yep. So, does anyone think that Australia won't go 3-0 up?
No.
Yep. Go Aussies. Gentlemen, you've been superb again. That is the Fast Bowling Cartel podcast. We will catch up after day 1 for a bit of a review at the Adelaide Test match. No pink ball, red ball. So it's going to be a very social test, I imagine, for us 3. But gentlemen, well bowled again.
Brilliant, Flame. Brilliant, Diz.
Thank you, boys.
See you
Awesome.
soon.
Hey, boys.